YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to be going over the best controller settings that you guys need to be using in Call of Duty Warzone Season 4 right now. Settings are obviously a huge part of playing Call of Duty, and there's definitely a few out there that will help you improve your game significantly. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking these settings down, telling you which ones are the best to use and how they work if you're not familiar with them. You guys are definitely going to want to stick around for the whole video, for the reason being that all these settings work together very well, so you're not going to want to miss out on one. This video is also going to be focused on console players and not PC, so if you're on console, you're definitely going to want to stick around. With that, if you guys do go on to enjoy today's video or find it useful, definitely let me know by dropping a like and comment down below. It is always greatly appreciated. And of course, guys, if you are new around here and a part of this 95% of people who watch my videos and aren't subscribed, I post a lot of best class setups, Call of Duty news, tips and tricks, and more. So if that's something you guys are interested in, definitely feel free to subscribe to never miss out on a video. So without further ado, guys, let's hop right into these best settings you guys are going to want to use. So starting us off, we have the controller settings themselves. So starting us off with the button layout, I personally use default because this is what I've always used and I've gotten used to it by now, but this is personal preference, so whatever you guys are most comfortable with, you're going to want to use. Another one that I used to use that is definitely pretty good is bumper jumper. I know that works out very well for a lot of people, but I also know there's a lot of you out there that are using scuffs, so this can definitely vary depending on what your settings are on your controller itself. So moving on to the sensitivities, I am using 5 for both horizontal and vertical. Like I said though, this is something that you gotta be comfortable with, so definitely use whatever works best for you, but I do recommend if you're having trouble aiming to lower your sensitivity down a little bit because it might end up helping you out. So for the aim assist, you're definitely going to want to leave that on standard because it helps out a lot. For the mounting, I definitely recommend that you do keep that on the stick for meleeing because it does help out a lot and it's very easy to access. Now moving on to the movement settings, these are definitely very important and you're going to want to put these on. For the slide behavior, you're definitely going to want to put that on tap because it will help you slide cancel across the map a lot easier. Once you put this setting on, it's definitely going to take some time to getting used to, but overall it will help you a lot. For the auto move forward, I personally have that disabled, but you can enable that if you want. But for the automatic sprint, I definitely recommend that you put on the automatic tack sprint. Not only will it save your right stick from breaking over time, but it will also help you move around the map a lot quicker and you won't have to worry about pushing down the stick consistently in order to run. So yes, it's a small thing, but that setting definitely makes a world of a difference and it does take some time to getting used to, but I promise you it is definitely worth it in the long run. For the next important one, that is the parachute auto deploy. This is definitely personal preference and depending on if you can time it right. A lot of the time people can't, so it's difficult. I have it enabled, but I definitely recommend you disable it once you get the timing right. The reason I have it on is because I normally pull my chute as soon as I jump out of the helicopter looking for kills. So moving on to the general settings. For the brightness, I have mine at 55, but this really doesn't make too much of a difference, but I definitely recommend keeping it anywhere between 50 and 60. For subtitles, I have them enabled, but I know there's a lot of people that find them distracting, so that's personal preference as well. For the colorblind setting, I do go back and forth with the default and also the Tritanopia one. I do find both of them to work very well, but this is honestly personal preference as well and which ones you like. So moving on to the world and weapon motion blur, I do have them both enabled right now, but I do like to play without them. This obviously can help when you're moving quickly, especially if you're on a high sensitivity to see enemies around you. So moving on to this next setting, this one is a big one, and if you guys don't have this on, you need to change it right away. And this is to have the minimap shape as square instead of a sphere. Making your minimap a square gives you a lot more visibility of what's going on around you, and it helps out tremendously, so I definitely recommend that you throw this on right away if you didn't know this was a setting. So moving on to the minimap rotation, you're definitely going to want to have that enabled so you don't get confused when you're actually looking at your minimap when there's enemies around you. And then for the compass direction text, you're definitely going to want to throw it on letters opposed to numbers because first of all, it comes default as letters, and there's a lot of people out there that don't know they can change these settings, so they're going to be making the call outs with the letters in general, and it's a lot easier to comprehend and you won't get confused. As you guys see, I have some of these other settings enabled like the profanity and stuff, so feel free to copy them, but they're not very game changing and important. So moving right along to some very important settings, and that's the audio. First of all, for the audio mix, I am running boost, but a lot of the time I also will be running boost high. These two are definitely the best ones you can be using, so I definitely recommend giving them both a go and seeing which one you prefer, but I definitely recommend you do not use the boost low because it kind of just gets annoying and it's not as good. For the master volume, I have that at 65. This can obviously be increased if you prefer that. For the music volume, I have it at 35, but you can also lower that some more if you don't want any music on. A lot of these settings can definitely be distractions, so you want to be careful on what you're setting them at. Here are my other audio settings that definitely aren't as important or game changing, but definitely feel free to copy them if you were looking for them. As I did mention in the beginning of the video, this is for console players, so if you were looking for a field of view setting or settings like that, that is only for PC unfortunately. But overall, these are the best best settings that you guys need to be using right now if you're playing on console using a controller. As I mentioned through the video, some of these settings will definitely take some time to get used to, but once you do, I promise you it will make a world of a difference. So with all that being said, guys, if you did go on to enjoy today's video or found it useful, definitely let me know by dropping a like and comment down below. It is always greatly appreciated. And of course, guys, if you are new around here, I post a lot of best class setups, tips and tricks, Call of Duty news, and more. So if that's something you guys are interested in, definitely feel free to subscribe to my channel to never miss out on a video. It helps out the channel a lot and is always greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, thank you guys again for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.